Hey, folks, we're going to go to the movies. This is the time of year when everyone goes to the movies because this is when you see the Oscar candidates and that sort of thing. They save the good movies for the end of the year. And we're going to start with a movie that I think is fantastic. It's called Darkest Hour.
We're facing certain defeat on land, the annihilation of our army, and imminent invasion. We must negotiate peace talks.
When will the lesson be learned? You cannot reason with a tiger when your head is in its mouth!
Nonsense. The only slippery slope.
Would you stop interrupting me while I am interrupting you?
I really enjoyed this movie, and the wildest thing about it, Winston Churchill is played by Gary Oldman. If you can find Gary Oldman in the middle of that, performance, that is a miracle. Oh, there he is! Look at that. Somebody knew exactly what we're doing here. So check out Gary Oldman, and he looks like Winston Churchill as Winston Churchill. And of course, The Darkest Hour is that point of the beginning of World War II, where the Nazis are invading England, Great Britain, and Great Britain is looking for help from the USA, from the Americans, and the Americans have not voted to give them help, and they're on their own right now in Great Britain, and that's why they called it The Darkest Hour, and Winston Churchill is credited with uniting the country in a time when they were not very united and bringing them all together to stand up against Hitler's Nazi Germany.
Okay.
So a terrific film. Next picture is called All the Money in the World.
I'd like that.
My child is a prisoner.
$17 million. All they will take is eye, his ear, the hand, and don't tell me you don't have the money.
My former father-in-law only buys the best.
It's time for you to do whatever it is he pays you to do. Let's hope you're half as good as everything else he's bought.
We need to pay the ransom, Mr. Getty.
I do not have the money to spare.
No one has ever been richer than you are at this moment. What would it take for you to feel secure?
More.
I'm gonna find your son.
This movie you'll have to wait to see till Christmas Day. It doesn't open until Christmas Day. Ridley Scott is the director of this, and boy, he's directed some terrific films. No doubt about that. And this particular film was a specific challenge because they had to reshoot half the movie in 3 weeks with Christopher Plummer playing J. Paul Getty, the richest man in the world. And J. Paul Getty, at this time, had more money than anyone in the world. He possessed more wealth than anybody had in the past.
Yeah.
And he was such a rich guy, but he was one of the cheapest guys in the world.
Yeah.
Now, the most interesting thing about this thing is Christopher Plummer plays J. Paul Getty, but it was Kevin Spacey who played this character up until the beginning of December. Remember, Kevin Spacey had a little problem?
A little trouble
and,
there.
Yeah, his little problem. They said, hey, we got to take you out of our movie, and we're going to reshoot this movie and get it out in the next 3 weeks. I was supposed to interview Kevin Spacey like the first week of December. They canceled that, and since then, they shot the movie with Christopher Plummer. It is a great movie, and I can't see how Kevin Spacey could have been better than Christopher Plummer. He's unbelievable as J. Paul Getty, the richest man in the world. And this is all about, you may remember
the kidnapping,
kidnapping of his grandson, and he wasn't going to pay the money. They wanted $17 million. He says, nope, I'm not paying it. I have 12 grandchildren. If I paid $17 million for each one, I go broke.
Yes.
But he could never go broke, but he had this thing in his head, and it's a great movie about this story. It's a true story, and what a terrific movie to see Christmas Day. That first one opens tomorrow. This one opens Christmas Day, and our next movie opens today, and it's called Jumanji.
Jumanji. Pick a character, and you're that person in the game.
Bethany, you in?
I don't spend my life staring at a TV screen. Fine.
Oh my God!
Where's my hair?
Where's the rest of me?
Oh my God, we're in different people's bodies!
Bethany, don't look at it!
No! I'm an overweight middle-aged man. Wait a second. Where's my phone?
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
I'll bet you some of us remember Jumanji with Robin Williams,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Which was a terrific film. Well, they twisted it up and did a little different this time because this one is about some high school kids who are in detention, and they're in part of the school, and they find this old game and they start playing it, and the kids turn into these other characters. So the kids turn into Kevin Hart, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black. And the game Jumanji is one of those things you have to survive, and you have to finish the game to get back out of the game. So they have all these challenges, these physical challenges. And of course, with this cast, you laugh the whole way. I mean, I remember the Robin Williams one. It was actually a little scary at times. You were like, whoa, little kids would go like, that's dangerous. But this, This is pretty slapsticky, and Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson together are just unbelievable, I think. So Jumanji opens today, so you can check that out. So a lot of good movies out there.
I'd like to be The Rock I think I'm most built like him.
You look like The Rock. I think you just have to tighten up the hairdo a bit.
Okay.
That's probably all you need. Maybe lose a little beard.
Okay.
Hey, the J. Paul Getty movie, I bet you'd like to see that.
I would love to see that. That was a fascinating story when it happened.
Yeah, remember when it was like you were wondering what was going to happen to this kid, and they were sending pieces of the kids back to the family.
Wow, crazy.
And J. Paul Getty still said he wasn't going to pay the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.